is your 2012 special forecast brought to you by InsightfulAstrology.com. Aries, in 2012, the major theme for you is mind expansion. There's a lot going on in your life this year that's going to change your perspective, that will shift your viewpoint, and empower you in a fabulous new direction. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, I want to talk to you about love. Saturn, the planet of restriction, limitation, and delay, but also responsibility and commitment, has been touring your 7th house of partnership for quite some time now, since late 2009. Well, Saturn will continue these lessons through your 7th house until October 5th of this year. And now that Saturn will be finishing up these important lessons in relationships for you, you're going to find that your perspective about relationships is finally creating some sort of stability. Stability is always good because it grounds you, but what you're also going to realize is that you might have been in a relationship where you have just settled. That's the big question for you this year. Are you settling or are you settling down? And every Aries will have to honestly examine a relationship to determine which one it is. When we get to October 5th, Saturn will leave your 7th house, and all of these relationship lessons are going to be finalized. But Saturn will then shift into your 8th house of intimacy. So whatever you have learned about the stability, about the commitment, endurance potential, relating to your partnership is now going to transition into the bedroom and into the sharing of resources, financial and otherwise. That will surely be an interesting lesson. Love might sound as if it's a little boring this year. And if you're in an existing relationship, you certainly might feel that things have gotten stale. At the same time, remember that Saturn is not trying to put this ball and chain on you. Saturn is trying to get you to look at relationships with a new sense of realism. And again, Saturn wants you to get stable when it comes to relationships. Now, when it comes to work and career, there's a lot going on. As a matter of fact, that is going to be taking the focus of your attention for sure during the first half of 2012. We'll have Mars, your ruling planet of energy and action, moving retrograde in your 6th house of work and service from January 23rd until April 13th. This is going to be a pivotal time period for you where you're going to feel that there are roadblocks, there are setbacks in work projects. You're probably going to have to go back to old projects and rehash them. You might feel a sense of frustration at not being able to move far ahead as quickly as you'd like. Just realize that this is an important time period for you to get your bearings. Remember, you're ruled by Mars, so this Mars retrograde period will be more important for you than the other signs. This is certainly a testing, frustrating period for many Arians out there. I don't want you to give up. Whatever work project you have going on, push through. You'll find that from April 13th until July 3rd, everything is finally moving forward ahead the way that you hope it should be. There's also another dynamic at work with career, and that has to do with the series of Uranus-Pluto squares that we begin in 2012. On June 24th, and then again on September 19th, Uranus, the planet of upheaval and revolution, now in your sign, will make tense squares to Pluto, the planet of transformation, now in your career sector. This spells professional upheaval. There is something that's going to be uprooted, that's going to be shifted in your career path during both of these dates. And you might be the one who is instigating this change. You've had enough, you want to get authority, you're going to have some brushes with authority figures. So just, take that all in stride and recognize that there will be changes happening for you in career. Then when we talk about money's not so bad for you. Remember, from now until June 11th, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, is moving through your 2nd house. So this can enhance your earning potential. This certainly expands your sense of self-worth and the ability for you to use your talents in an incredible and marketable way. Then we're going to have Jupiter entering your 3rd house of communication, and the mind after June 11th. This is when everything turns to the mindset for you. We've got eclipses happening in your 3rd and 9th house of mind expansion this year, specifically a solar eclipse on May 20th in your 3rd house of communication, and then a lunar eclipse on June 4th in your 9th house of expansion and education. And then we'll have another lunar eclipse in your 3rd house on November 28th. All of these eclipses are framed in a backdrop of Venus, the planet of values, money, and talents, having a retrograde cycle from May 15th until June 27th in your 3rd house. So recognize, especially with that eclipse on May 20th hitting it off, you're going to be renegotiating some kind of contractual matter. You might be going back to a teaching position, to learning about something, or communicating in a different way, especially when it comes to money, love, and your values. This is where everything changes in your mind, and whatever you resolve during that Venus retrograde cycle will stick with you for the rest of 2012.